India's rise is no longer theoretical. Steel is moving, corridors are opening, entire systems are coming online. Across the country, airports expand, rail lines accelerate, industrial zones activate, and digital infrastructure locks into place. This is not a single project, it's a coordinated national build-out. As each structure comes online, its impact compounds, reshaping how India moves, trades, and positions itself globally. India is building at unprecedented scale, and the consequences are now impossible to ignore.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
A clean burn, a smooth rise, a spacecraft cutting through the sky. Chandrayaan-3 on its way to the moon. The launch wasn't symbolic, it was historic. India became the fourth country ever to land on the lunar surface. But the location is what rewrote the record books, the moon's south pole, a region untouched by every other spacefaring nation. And here's the number that stunned the industry: $75 million. NASA's latest Mars mission cost $2.9 billion. A mission so efficient, it forced agencies worldwide to rethink what expensive really means. The message was unmistakable. Capability doesn't always follow cost. Sometimes it follows intention. And sometimes it follows the discipline of designing only what is needed. Nothing more, nothing wasteful, nothing inflated. And that was just the opening move. Next comes Gaganyaan, India's first human spaceflight. By 2027, 3 astronauts will enter low Earth orbit. Only 3 countries have ever done this independently: the United States, Russia, and China. India will be the 4th. The spacecraft is Indian-built. The rocket is Indian-built. Training happens in India and Russia. It's a fully indigenous capability with a long runway ahead. India wants a space station by 2035, a crewed moon landing by 2040, reusable launch vehicles after that. Plans that once sounded aspirational now look inevitable, because every launch adds momentum. Every milestone compounds national confidence, and every project signals a country transitioning from participant to architect in the space economy. The shift is subtle but unmistakable. India is no longer catching up, it's defining its own vertical. All of it runs through a space agency with an annual budget of $1.6 billion. NASA operates with $25 billion, yet India is landing on the moon, launching satellites, planning human missions, and selling launch services to more than 30 countries. It's the global capital of frugal innovation, world-class technology at a fraction of traditional cost, a strategy that converts efficiency into dominance. Because this isn't about prestige, it's about positioning India inside a space economy headed toward the trillions. A long game that reshapes supply chains, alliances, and the flow of future technology. And every year that India remains cost-efficient, it becomes harder for others to ignore or outcompete. But the sky is only one part of the transformation. The ground is changing just as fast, and the scale there is even harder to comprehend. Because on Earth, India isn't just exploring, it's rebuilding. The Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor. India's first bullet train. Not a prototype, a 508-kilometer link connecting Mumbai to Ahmedabad. Top speed 320 kilometers per hour. A 7-hour trip compressed to 2. The engineering challenge? Immense. 21 kilometers of tunnels. One tunnel stretching 7 kilometers at a depth of 250 meters. The route crosses 24 rivers, including a nearly mile-long bridge over the Narmada. Japan provided the Shinkansen technology. India is building the system at a fraction of global cost. Total investment, $17 billion. Completion target, 2026. Daily capacity, 40,000 passengers. And this is just the first of 7 planned high-speed corridors, a network that will redefine movement not just as travel, but as national synchronization. Then comes a landmark towering above everything around it. The Statue of Unity, the tallest statue on Earth, a 182-meter bronze monument to Sardar Patel. The Statue of Liberty is 93 meters. This is double. But the statue is only the anchor. India built an entire tourism ecosystem around it. A 20 KSQ meter visitor center, a 52-room hotel, a 17 km convention center, a 300-meter bridge, a viewing gallery at 153 meters. Construction timeline, 33 months. Cost, $430 million. Visitors, over 25 million. A megaproject delivered at speed, scale, and discipline. A reminder that cultural ambition and engineering performance don't need to collide. They can accelerate each other. Now shift to a different kind of structure. Gift City, India's first operational smart financial district, 886 acres, commercial towers, residential districts, schools, hospitals, all connected with underground utilities. No overhead cables, no surface pipes, no exposed systems. A city engineered for precision in a place where urban chaos was once expected. A demonstration that India is not only expanding, it's refining. The real breakthrough is regulatory. India built a special economic zone with freedoms similar to global offshore centers. Banks, insurers, and funds operate here like they do in Singapore or London. It's working. Over 500 companies are already in. JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, Bank of America, Amazon, Microsoft, Apple. The city targets 1 million square meters of commercial space and housing for 100,000 residents. Phase 1 is operational. India wants Gift City to capture 20% of national financial services by 2030, a $1 trillion goal, a controlled sandbox shaping the blueprint for India's next-generation cities. Navi Mumbai International Airport, one of the largest airports ever built. Reclaimed land, 1,160 hectares. A hill flattened, earth moved into the sea, land created from nothing. 2 parallel 3.7 km runways. Terminal, 710,000 square meters, approximately 100 Walmart supercenters. Capacity, 90 million passengers annually. Investment, $3.5 billion. Mumbai becomes the first Indian city with 2 international airports. A pressure release valve for one of the busiest aviation zones on the planet. A plan for future demand curves no city wants to face unprepared. India Semiconductor Mission, a $10 billion incentive plan pulling fabrication into India. 3 fabs approved. Tata plus Power Chip, $14 billion plan. CG Power plus Renaissance plus Stars, Microelectronics, new fab. Micron, $2.75 billion assembly and test facility. Billions of chips per year, not assembly, full wafer-to-chip manufacturing. India already has 20% of global chip design talent. Qualcomm, Intel, NVIDIA, all here. Now design and manufacturing converge. Target top 5 semiconductor producer by 2030. A move toward technological independence and geopolitical leverage. The Delhi-Mumbai Industrial Corridor, $100 billion, 1,500 kilometers. 24 smart cities, AI-powered infrastructure, automated logistics, green systems, 150,000 square kilometers, larger than Pennsylvania. 6 states, 180 million people impacted. Goal, raise manufacturing from 16% to 25% of GDP. Japan and the World Bank fund it because the payoff is enormous. A continental-scale industrial backbone. Sagarmala Maritime Program, 67 ports modernized or built, $120 billion investment, JNPT doubling from 5 to 10 million TEUs, Paradip Port upgrading automated coal systems, 20 million tons year. Mundra adding entire new berths. Core strategy, shift 20% of cargo to sea routes. Sea shipping =, 60% cheaper. Cargo capacity to hit 3.5 billion tons annually. Logistics cost savings, $35 billion year. A coastline turned into an economic engine. Paratmala Highway Program, 83,677 kilometers of highways, twice Earth's circumference, 44 economic corridors, 9,000 kilometers border roads, 2,000 kilometers coastal roads, construction speed, 37 km per day, 13,500 km a year. China at peak, 20,000 km a year. India is approaching that pace, a velocity that shatters the myth that democracies must build slowly. Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, 1,380 kilometers, 8-lane access-controlled corridor. Travel time cut from 24 hours to 12. 9 tunnels, longest 3.6 kilometers, $108 billion investment. Logistics costs drop 20-25%, $100 billion annual savings. Sections already in use, built for industrial velocity, not aesthetics. Everything you've seen isn't happening over decades. It's happening simultaneously. Bullet trains, smart cities, airports, ports, highways, chips, moon missions. China's boom took 30 years. India is compressing it into 10 as a democracy, with land laws, environmental reviews, public consultation, consensus, not decree. Infrastructure investment from 4.5% to 8% of GDP, $250 billion annually. The U.S. invests till the 2.5%. India invests more than triple that ratio. 2023 alone, 10,000 kilometers of highways. World Bank India to become world's 3rd largest economy by 2027. Infrastructure is the engine. And the meaning is bigger than steel. It's proof that a democracy of 1.4 billion can scale at global speed. Proof that freedom doesn't slow development. A proof that megaprojects don't require authoritarian shortcuts. Across India, something irreversible is being built. A future defined by ambition, execution, and scale. A new model for emerging nations. India's infrastructure revolution isn't a prediction. It's active, visible, measurable, and accelerating. Momentum compounds. And when nations compound at this pace, they don't just grow, they shift global expectations. India's rise is no longer theoretical. The data, the steel, and the velocity now speak for themselves. New corridors open, new megastructures activate, new leverage points emerge across the global map. This transformation is still accelerating, and its scale is only beginning to surface. As the projects grow larger and the consequences grow sharper, each milestone becomes another signal of how fast the world's balance is shifting. India is building the future at unprecedented scale, and the global system is finally adjusting to the new reality.